Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hello again, everyone. This is Jan from New York City, and my channel name is Jan from New York City Saves Money. Hey, how you doing this morning? Hope that this video finds everybody doing well. Happy Money Monday. I know. Do I have a tall one next to me? Yes, I do. Would not start my day without a nice tall cup of brew. But we're going to talk a minute about that. Okay. And it's really basic. Now, the other day, if you paid attention, and I know you did, I showed you a grocery haul. We were talking about price comparisons and all that and whatnot and whatever. But there is a little neat, little nifty trick that I like to use. And it's definitely part of being frugal. And it definitely can make your life cost a little cheaper. And it's really called something just so simple and so basic. It is my rule of half. What do I mean by that? Well, if you half something, you're taking one item, and effectively, in a way, you're doubling the item without it costing you anything extra by it. Now, look carefully at the picture that's in front of you. First of all, there is a filled cup of coffee, which was my actual cup of coffee that I had first thing in the morning. I'm having my second cup next to me as we speak. But next to it, you're going to notice a packet of non-fat dry milk. And you're going to notice the coffee creamer that you saw the other day. And you're going to notice one of those instant coffees. And by the way, I made a mistake the other day when I said there were 6 in one box. There's actually 5, okay? But what I've been doing, and it makes a lot of sense. Oh, by the way, in front of that is a little container of garlic powder. No, I plan not to mix all of them together. It wouldn't taste too great. Okay, now enough of that. But what I have to say is this. Here's what I do. You see that creamer on the upper right-hand corner, the powdery one? And you see the non-fat dry milk? Well, guess what? I actually create my own half and half. What I do is I take that, when it gets down to the halfway mark, the coffee creamer, I extend the value of the coffee creamer, and I end up coming out with something that tastes pretty good to me. I enter into that half a bottle, up to the top, the non-fat dry milk, and of course I mix it up and shake it carefully so that it's blended. And not only will you have lengthen the lifetime of your creamer, but you did make an instant half and half. I'd say that's pretty darn good. So it's a great little stretcher. Okay, that's the rule of half working right there. Next, you look on the bottom of that picture and you see that packet of coffee. Now here's a trick, okay? If you buy the darker strength, okay, now they claim they're putting in 50% more coffee in the packet. It says so on the box itself. But even if it doesn't say it on the box, get anything that has like a darker strength to it if you like to drink that. But you definitely do not need to use the whole thing. I'm not even kidding you. So I took half of that little packet. I entered it into my coffee cup. I put in my mixture, my own homemade half and half. And voila, there you go. I mean, it doesn't get cheaper than that. Now, the other day, as I told you, it cost $1.69 for that box. So let's round it off to $1.70. But now I took those 5 packets in the box and turned it into 10 cups, generous size cups of coffee, because I got the stronger strength of it. Okay, got the idea? So what I'm doing is maximizing my value. Okay, so basically, my cup of coffee is less than 20 cents. Less than 20 cents a cup. I mean, how cheap can you get? Seriously? So I'm getting 10 cups of coffee out of that $1, so let's round it off, $1.70. Actually, it's just really basically like maybe in the 10 cent margin or 16 cent margin. I really need more caffeine. Let's just say it's cheap. But you get the idea of it. Okay. Now, you're probably wondering, why do you see a cute little container. And by the way, the camera image of this makes it look huge and grown up when it's really not. It's a tiny tot, okay? That thing in actuality is a tiny tot. But it's a cute little storage container of which I have good quality garlic powder. I don't know if you're aware of this, but garlic powder and garlic salt, okay, so be careful when you're shopping for it. Garlic salt is significantly less expensive than garlic powder. However, I enjoy at times to use a little garlic powder. I enjoy sometimes to use a little garlic salt. But if you already have in your possession garlic powder, okay, what's to stop you from taking a small container, using your good quality garlic powder that you have, and just adding salt to that, making your own garlic salt? Tell me, what's the problem with that? There is no problem. So you have your own, of course, the bird clock. So you have an option to do that. So again, you're taking something you already have, you're adding either a cheap ingredient or you're doing a cheap method of something to stretch what you have, okay? And the same thing goes for, now some people question me on this one, but I don't see or understand the big question on that. Okay. You realize that a batch of cookie mix can also, cake mix, box cake mix, can also double as a cookie mixture. So you can use that as a cookie recipe too. So just saying, suppose you'd rather have cookies instead of cake. You could take box cake mix, and there's a very simple method to that. And I'm going to link up a video here in the description box below so that you can do just that. And also, when it comes to baking cookies, suppose you live alone or you live with one other person, okay? And you really, you kind of want a little treat, but you don't want to go overboard. Make that batch of cookies, do your thing, make the cookies. Who's to stop you from, like, if you yield 2 dozen cookies, who's to stop you or anyone from freezing half of that cookie batch, pre-made cookie batch? Put them away, out of sight, out of mind. But you will have saved it for another time when you're craving cookies, okay? That's just, again, doubling, getting more bang for your buck, and it doesn't cost you any extra at that, okay? The same for those prepared jarred sauces. Sometimes it's actually more expensive to put together a sauce from scratch. Think about this for a second. Those like fancy schmancy sauces sometimes we make on a weekend that take forever. You really don't have to do that, to tell you the truth. I mean, Grandma did it. They enjoyed it. And, especially my family, they spent all day long. But, okay, don't get me wrong. It's a fond memory. But in reality, if you live by yourself or if you live with one other person, I mean, unless you have no choice, it's actually sometimes much less expensive to go look for those sales on a jar of prepared sauce, saving you time, effort, and energy. And today, they are way much better than the original one. There was like one that began with an R, which was, in my opinion, but that's my taste. Today, you have so many choices. And if you get them on sale, all the better. And you could just close up that jar and use it for other recipes. If you're using only half the jar, just, use it throughout the remainder of the week for other recipes, even like in small quantities. You never know, like if you make your own little homemade pizza, or if you, just incorporate it inside as an ingredient inside of your meatloaf, for example, like I do, you'd be amazed how you can stretch what you have, okay? So that's really, really important. Being able to take something that you have, you paid for it already. If you could figure out ways to maximize it, that would be great. And by the way, I can't wait to hear your comments below. Let me know if there's something that you do to utilize or stretch one item, either doubling it or turning it into a completely different homemade manufactured product. I do that with leftover milk. With my leftover milk, I end up, guess what? Manufacturing my own yogurt for free. When milk is about to turn, fear not. that makes for a perfect future yogurt. Just saying, just saying. So think of these things and you would be amazed how you could stretch a buck. Yes, even in the heart of New York City. And in the meantime, this has been Jan from New York City. Thank you so much for listening. Why? Because I really do appreciate whose time? Your time. Have an amazing upcoming day. And if you're listening to this later in the day, have a wonderful remainder of your night. Don't forget to put a smile on someone else's face, because you never know. The day may come. You may love to get that smile back. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to end this up with a little bit of Monday morning music. Take good care now. Bye-bye.